I have noticed that a lot of my colleagues have been asking or talking about the Apple Clips app, and it seems that all of the technology getting pushed out for all these students working from home or hybrid learning and all of this stuff has brought on an influx, at least in my circles, of the use of this Apple Clips app. So today I thought, let's take a look at the Apple Clips app. All right, we are in the Apple Clips app, and this is just the main face of it. This is project mode. I just want to show the basic features that the Apple Clips app has because you should check it out. It's my favorite quick video option. I think when you're trying to create a video for class or for something that's informal and you don't mind it being in the Instagram square style, this is the app to use because you can create videos incredibly quick. I use it with my students, even for my media technology class with videography, cinematography, because it just is an easy way to kind of pull together some basic frameworks for video making, but it's done with only the simplest of tools in the true Apple way. The user interface is super smooth. So let's take a quick look at it. Here I have just a project file from class yesterday when I was talking to my students about creating a short story and just using some things like B-roll and some different camera angles to convey different types of emotions. So just taking a quick look at what I have here. The pink bar at the bottom is your record bar. And so if you hold that down to record, you can also slide up and just let it record. Not a lot of people know about that feature. I don't know if it was in the first version or something, but it seems like nobody seems to know about that. And as you're recording, you can hold down the button or you can slide it up and then record as much as you need. I like to record extra on both sides and then just trim it really quick. So for example, I have a clip right here. Let's take a look at one of these clips. I don't know, it's one of these. Let's just go ahead. All right, so trying to show some students the old slide trick, right? From if you have the same color, you can kind of do a nice little slide transition there. Good. Now, if I wanted to trim that clip, I can trim it on either side. So you see how I trimmed off the whole beginning over there, just doing this right here. That was pretty easy. And then I can trim off to the very edge there as well, depending on what I want to do. And so in this clip, I want it to pause for a second so that you see him staring off over the edge, right? And then of course you have different types of clips, so you could do like close-ups and things like that. So if you're looking to convey kind of a deeper emotion about what's happening, then taking a long film and then being able to trim it is really, really nice. Some other things that are available, this save clip option that's right there, that has not always been there. It's a fantastic option if you're trying to use clips to kind of get some things going, but then you realize, hey, I could use some of those clips for some other things. You have mute, and mute is gonna give you two options if you recorded it from a video outside of the Clips app. So if you recorded a video on your phone and then airdropped it to your iPad or something like that, then you could use the mute option. You could actually record like a voiceover over all of the clips, and then that could be a separate recording that you also have to work with. You have, of course, effects like, you know, crazy filters and stuff like that. You have lots of labels, stickers. This is more like the Instagram sticker kind of thing, right? Or not Instagram, Snapchat, right? And then emojis, of course. So lots of stickers, labels. The labels are great because you can drag them and you can make them bigger, smaller. You can rotate them. You can add as many as you want. Some of these actually have movements attached to them, which is really nice as well. And then live titles feature I want to talk to you about as well. So let me hit done so we can look at that. So the effects button. Oh no, hold on. Live titles button. There we go. With the live titles is fantastic. So it'll actually listen to it'll use dictation to pay attention to what you're saying in the video, and it'll try and write out the text as you're saying it. So a lot of times, if you're speaking really clearly and slowly enough, it will actually pay really close attention to what you're saying. It'll add the text of whatever you said on the bottom, like subtitles, which is really, really nice, especially for some of our students. That can be a great feature. In the poster section, I use these all the time. I use these on a different version, in fact. So one of the things I wanted to teach my students is that depending on the music you choose for a video, it'll determine kind of the feeling of the video. So I took this one right here and I went ahead and just typed in there, and I typed something like, so the storyline's pretty simple. The character it runs out of food and sees candy from across the room and wants to go get the candy, thinks I can knock down the candy by running this robot into the cones, and then the candy will fall over, but the candy goes over the edge with it, right? So then it's like this longing look over. But maybe with an ominous music, it conveys a different storyline because there are no words, so you have to use the music and the camera angles to determine what you feel about what's happening. And so in this particular one, I took this one right here, and then I just put like something like, if I can't have it, right? And then ... And then when you hit record, watch this. So they have these really nice features. All of the different posters, by the way, have movements attached to them. Actually, maybe not all of them, but almost all of them have movements attached to them. And they're really nice. They're obviously, it's just like iMovie, and same thing with GarageBand, that there is a certain amount of creativity that nobody would know what you use, but after a certain amount of time, if you use the same stuff over and over, there's not enough variety to kind of change things. But remember, you're not using this to create professional film. You're using this for the purpose of creating quick film and teaching basic things, right? This is a great tool for kids because it's social media friendly in terms of the way the user interface. So it feels like a little bit like Snapchat because you hold the button down the whole time. It has the square feel instead of the like 16:9 or 4:3. And because it has that square feel, it kind of feels like Instagram. It kind of feels a little more friendly, I think, to students. And it's super simple to use and has a lot of different features. It has stickers and things like that. So students love it. It's a great tool. It's awesome you can also do like, have students do self-reflections with them. So have them like do a video reflecting on how things have gone. You can add photos using your library, of course. So like I'm doing a project with one of my students who really likes boxing. So I got Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson over here. You can add a Muhammad Ali picture like that. You could record for a second. It's just gonna stay there. If you do any movements, those will actually show up in your recording, which is really nice. Not a lot of people know about that either. Same thing is also true with your video too, which is also really cool. So this is a great teaching tool for those of you that want to use this with your students. If you're trying to teach students how to do something and you have still shot photos, then this is an excellent tool for adding a photo like that football or that boxing one I just did right there, right? So I take, let's do a different one. Let's do kind of a classic Muhammad Ali, right? And then we'll start off like zoomed out or whatever, and then we'll start recording. Zoom toward his face, right? And then we can go ahead and go back and we can add like, we could add a filter if we wanted to get crazy about it, but we don't need to do that. We could just find something like text over there, put Ali, and I don't know, it depends on what you're trying to teach your students, of course. But then as you watch it, it kind of, see how it fades in, you got Ali at the top, and it just kind of creates a nice little effect. It's great, again, as a teaching tool. If you have still frames of what you're trying to teach students, you can zoom in on it, zoom out on it. It's super excellent for some of the preparation videos that you want to do ahead of time for the asynchronous learning where students are going, watching your video and learning from it. It's just a fantastic tool. Again, it's not meant to be a professional video editing program. It's not good at what it, oh, and I missed one huge thing. I gotta also tell you about this. Check out this music option. This is my favorite thing. My favorite thing because you don't get a lot of music options in iMovie. You don't get a lot of built-in music options elsewhere. And because of copyright rules, it's super messy to like add music to videos and stuff, because then you can't add it to YouTube because it could be copyright infringement, and it just gets really messy. So it's really nice to have this app has all this music that you're allowed to use of different categories. And there's definitely some kid-friendly, like I mean, I teach middle school, and it's kid-friendly music that middle schoolers would like as well. It's a great way. That's, how did I end up doing that? There we go. It's a great way to show students stuff. It's a great way for students to reflect and to do their own, show their own learning. It's an excellent tool. You should check it out.